sprinkles. We need something.
You know, they say misery loves company, right? So as they mentioned, lots of places here in the U.S. dealing with heat. So if we look at the nation's maps, I mean, Taylor, how much color is behind me, right? Would you say?
Wait.
This way, that way? Would you say pretty much all of the southern U.S. feeling the heat?
I believe it.
You would be right. I'm standing in front of the one state that does not have any heat alerts along the southern U.S., and that's Alabama. From Florida through parts of Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California. Everybody along the southern border of the U.S. dealing with heat alerts, except for Alabama. So lucky them. We've got some heat all across the U.S., and that's what all the pink and orange and the red stand for. But let's focus in on what we're dealing with here in the coastal bend, because I feel like every morning you tune into Chris 6 News Sunrise to find out whether you're pink or orange today. Well, you know what? That pink is a little bit of a smaller area today. The pink, of course, standing for an excessive heat warning. So that includes all of San Patricio, Nueces, and Clayburgh counties. Everybody else in that orange standing for the heat advisories that are in place. These are on deck. They'll start at noon today and go until 8 o'clock tonight. So things perhaps a little bit better because we're expecting some very gusty conditions. Disrespectful winds back in the forecast. So we'll talk about it coming up. But just note, everybody here will feel like the 110s this afternoon, especially those of us in the pink feeling like 115 or hotter for a period of 2 hours or longer. So you need to make sure staying hydrated is important, but more importantly, you need to go in the AC and just avoid the hottest parts of the day. Do what you can, go to the mall, go out to eat, stay home and stay inside. You need to stay cool. And this morning, it is a muggy start for us, a very warm one. For us in Corpus Christi, 83 degrees, feeling like 94. For those of you starting your day out in the Bluff, 85 at Naval Air Station Corpus Christi, feeling like 99 degrees. That's an improvement from our last check where it felt like 100 degrees out there. Good morning to those of you in Mathis, 79. Your temperature right now feels like 84. And for those of you waking up in Farfurias this morning, 82, feeling like 91. And we care about those feels like temperatures because that is the temperature that your body perceives when you step outside into these conditions. So that's the temperature that you need to account for with your plans, like maybe going for a dog walk. Here's my pooch. This is Cooper. He does not like the heat, so that's the reason he's got the side eye there. He does not spend any time outdoors. We go out for that walk and he's like, do we have to do this? He's not a fan. He's a very picky and particular German Shepherd. But I hope you'll share your furry friend with me. You can send me an email, stephanie.labra@christv.com, or tag me on social media and let me know if you have a Cooper who's particular about their weather forecast. But we'll have to do it today. We're going to have to go outside eventually. It's going to be 90 by 10 a.m., 95 by noon. And yes, very windy as we go into the afternoon. This morning, we'll already feel like 15 miles per hour kind of neighborhood. Yeah, that will help with the heat a little bit, but it's really that hot, humid breeze during the afternoon at 20, 30 miles per hour. It's just a mess, okay? So that feels like temperature getting to 116 as early as 1 p.m. and still feeling that way by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, likely to spike a little bit higher between those two time frames. Yesterday, we got up to 118 for the heat index at CCIA. We could very easily do that again today. But most importantly, you need to not take this lightly because we don't get much of a break during the overnight. We continue to feel like those middle to upper 90s even as we head into your Friday, and that's dangerous. So we need to take that very seriously. Something else that's posing a little bit of a risk today, air quality. We have Saharan dust in the air, so our air quality is going to be in this yellow range, about moderate. And so those of you who maybe are a little more sensitive to particulate matter could have some trouble. You'll want to limit your time outdoors today. But that Saharan dust, it's pretty cool. It happens every year. It happens in June. We like it because it limits tropical activity, but it can cause respiratory issues. And some very colorful sunrises and sunsets, so some pros and cons there. But another plume coming off the coast of Africa right now. This helps us out, again, by limiting tropical activity. And right now, not a whole lot going on in the tropics. If we take a quick tropical update, there's only one area that the National Hurricane Center is watching here across the Atlantic, and it's in the northern Atlantic. It has a moderate chance of development into a subtropical storm or perhaps our next depression. Not a threat to the U.S. or Texas, so that's good news. This forecast is not sponsored by Nick Lachey, but 98 degrees is the temperature as we head through the weekend into next week. 99 next Tuesday, 97 next Wednesday.